Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music, and I'm here with DJ Trotsky.
What's up, kids?
DJ Trotsky. He's a bass player, as you can see. Old friend of mine, one of my oldest friends. We're doing our top 6 minor chord progression picks for improvising. Well, that's kind of the theme of this week's shorts and the tutorial as well. They're not exactly the same because, of course, you sit down to play and you realize, man, I forgot one. So we're just going to hack our way through these. It's kind of an interesting trial because, this is just going to be what happens in the studio. So let's get started. All right, so we're counting backwards, and our number 6 chord progression is the House of the Rising Sun, which, of course, when I play on guitar, I almost always play in A minor. Do you play it in A minor?
I play it whatever the band tells me.
Yes, sure. So just the progression
and
then.
I think A minor is actually.
A minor is, I think, the kind of regulation key. That's the Animals version is an A minor. A minor, C, D major, which is kind of what's fun about it. And then the F sharp becomes F. So it's kind of an unusual chord progression. A minor, C, and then the E, the 5 chord. And then it happens again, back to the beginning. A minor, to C, to D, to F, turn right around. A minor, E, and A. And David, you always play walking notes between the two.
I play a lot of passing tones.
Here we go, let's just try it. 3, 4. And of course, you really should be playing it on organ, right? Well, let's go on to our next favorite. And, in the video tutorial, I wanted to use La Folia. And the La Folia variation, it's a whole thing. It's kind of classical music, right? I'm loving it. But I think one that I missed when I was making this list was what I call the minor version of the money chords. And that's, any major key, has that 1, 5, 6, 4 thing. But if you start on 6, you get a really different progression that can be, quite exciting. So it just stay in the same key that we were just in. 6 is A minor in the key of C. F is the 4 chord, and then to 1, C, and then G. And this is a great progression. Nobody ever went broke with these 4 chords. You could start anywhere in this circle and get something good. So A minor, F, C, G, right? I mean, it sounds like a pop song already, right? it's just hard to know when to stop when you're doing something like that. Let's go on to our next. I guess that was number 6, number 5. Let me just check my notes. All right, number 4 and we're counting backwards here. So number 4 in our list of top 6 minor chord progressions is the progression from "I Will Survive," a Plagal cascade in minor. So G minor down to C minor, F down to B flat, E flat down to A, D sus, and D. Picardy third, the major third at the end. What fun. All right, number 5 in our top 6 minor chord progressions to jam on, the minor blues.
All right.
And the classic one I think the first minor blues I ever really learned was "Long Train Running."
Oh yeah.
Like it's that goes back a ways. It's a Doobie Brothers tune, which of course was a jam tune. I like to vary it up a little bit, as a little different. What makes a minor blues exciting to play? I'm going to play it in E minor here. The 1 chord is minor, and so is the 4 chord. So it has this sort of soft, beautiful sound. We'd use a minor blues scale with it. And then the turnaround does something really exciting. The flat 6 chord, C7, slips down a half step to B7 before going home to E minor. And this thing is so cool. Right? I like to use another little trick too, and I'll just sort of throw it out there. You'll hear me do this. I come down off the E minor chord the second time round to kind of a walking bass line, and I get to that D flat, and that D flat 7 takes me to C7, takes me to B7, takes me to E minor. So it's a kind of a lovely, sexy sound. And you can also take the minor chord on 4, the A minor chord, up a half step to make it a diminished. So there's a lot of flexibility in the blues. I sometimes inject jazzy elements into it. So after some conversation, we're going to take this again. 2, 3, 4. Minor blues. Now we should probably do that 12 times, right?
It's actually "Loan Me a Dime."
It's
Boz Scaggs.
Yeah. Oh, cool. It's a Boz Scaggs thing.
Yeah. Duet Jam play guitar.
What's the name?
"Loan Me a Dime." Someone loaned me a dime.
Someone loaned me a dime. Like, Buddy, can you spare a dime? That song there.
It's different.
It's different.
Yeah, it's definitely called "Loan Me a Dime."
Loan Me a Dime, and it's a Boz Scaggs thing.
Boz Scaggs.
You heard it from the horse's mouth. Okay, so me and Henry Ferguson used to study piano with the same piano teacher when we were 12 years old. And somebody taught us what I now know is the Andalusian cadence, which is, I'm going to play it in which key should we do this in? I did it in E flat in the video, my other video, but I don't think we should do E flat just because bad bass key.
Yeah, really. Right. No E flats, please.
So I think probably what happened was somebody taught it to us in C. So it's the hit the road jack bass line, and it just kind of descends like this. So that's C down to B flat. Don't you come back? A flat G.
I can do E flat.
You could, I'm sure. I mean, what difference does it make? In any case, Henry and I would just sit together and play four hands piano, doing this over and over again. Now, strictly speaking, this is kind of minor. It's not a chord progression, although I could put triads on it. So C minor, B flat, A flat, G7, right? I mean, I don't really think of chords when I'm playing this, though. We made everyone in our respective families crazy. You can imagine, right? Just over and over again, sitting in the basement. I'd go to practice in the evening and say to my mother, who was in the kitchen, I'd go downstairs to practice. Any requests? And she'd say, shut the door. Well, that's it. So that's our top six. You know what? We've undoubtedly, and that was number one, the Andalusian cadence, mostly because of its heart connection to my childhood. So,
what about Oyo Como Va?
Well,
I'm skipping that one.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Dorian Plagal thing.
The Dorian Plagal thing.
Okay, so
Bonus.
this is a bonus, and he's right. You know, I had the good fortune to play in one studio session with Carlos Santana. It was a thrill for me because, as you can imagine, you know, it's just a thrill to play with Carlos. So
Carlos Santana, man.
Carlos Santana, man. So this is A minor 7 and then D7, right? A minor D. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I could do that all day too. Well, listen, thanks to David for indulging us with this. And I'll tell you what, these are minor chord progressions that you can jam on and make everyone in your family really irritated with you. But I'll tell you, it's the best thing in the world for just expanding your sort of like musical horizons. Just kind of push out at the edge, push out at the edge. And if you can't push out at the edge, push out from the center. I remember Bill Evans saying one time that when he grew his technique, when he grew his musicality, he didn't try to grow from the edge. He tried to go to the middle and just push out a little bit from the middle. The edges wind up getting bigger, but you're growing from the center. So grow from the center. Listen, I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe. Ding the bell to be notified when I do my videos. Go visit DJ Trotsky's channel and check out his music. And I'll see you next time.